Hello, everyone. Happy homecoming 2021. We welcome you all to the virtual Stillman College homecoming virtual authors book dedication. The purpose for this session is to introduce you to the fourth annual authors dedication list of authors. And so we're so excited to welcome these authors to the Shepherd Library. We all remember the Shepherd Library where the magnolias bloom beautifully. And so as you visit the campus, be sure to stop by the library and view the alumni authors' books, which have been housed there for the last 4 years. And so first we want to thank the president of this beautiful college for allowing this segment. Thank everyone, the Stillman staff, all the producers, everyone for giving us this platform. We are delighted to be here. I'm Pam Ryans. I'm your host. I'm an author. I'm an alum of 1999, proud alum of Stillman College. And I just love welcoming people back, especially their books. In my mind, their books are like their babies. So it's almost like welcoming their baby to come and visit with us. And so if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this broadcast so that Stillman alums will know that Stillman is alive and well, far above the Warriors Rivers. And we are just delighted to welcome you all home, just like we're welcoming your books home to the Shepherd Library. And so I'm not going to hold you any longer. I want to introduce you to our first dedicated author, Dr. April Jones. She's going to come and tell you all about her book, all about the journey of her book's intentions, who's is intended to read this book, and then how you'll be able to connect with her additionally after this broadcast ends.
Hey, Tiger friends and family. Of course, you know Stillman's gotta have homecoming. And sadly, we have to have it at home due to the pandemic.
So we welcome you to Homecoming 2021. Stillman's gotta have it at home.
On behalf of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the Epsilon New Chapter, your continued contributions and support are welcome to this virtual homecoming experience.
Do not forget to help us reach our homecoming goal by donating today.
Go Tigers! OC to the good brother.
Okay. Well,
Hello.
Go Tigers. Hello. Go Tigers.
Yes.
It's good to be here. It's a great Tiger Day and good to be with our fellow Stillman Knights and other guests. So I am Dr. April Jones. At the time I was at Stillman, I was, of course, April Jones. I'm an alum of 2001. It's just great to be home. And I'm going to share a couple of my books with you today and how I became an author. So I never dreamed in my life that I would be writing books, right? So I just want to graduate, get a job, and live happily ever after, right? Give the fairy tale life. Well, life took me on to graduate school through mentorship with Dr. Lenovedo. And there were a couple of other professors, I won't name them all, that really inspired me to go on to graduate school. Well, I had a love for learning and I went to 3 graduate schools and then eventually got my doctoral degree. I worked half my career with the United States Air Force in social work. And then I got my doctorate degree and I went on to become a professor and department chair at the illustrious Tuskegee University. Of course, Stillman is my love. You'll always be my first. And so how did I begin writing? Actually, my dissertation, I decided to turn my dissertation into a book. It's called Nurse Commitment. how to retain professional staff nurses in a multi-generational workforce. I needed to make some money from all the debt I had accrued from student loans. And I thought, after I write this dissertation and after I write this book, no more. But let me tell you the inspiration of my story, because it's National Black History Month. I was inspired by my father to actually write the next book that I said I would never write. At the Selma 50th Jubilee, my father was honored at one of the luncheons there. I forget the name of the luncheon, but it was hosted by the National Congress of Black Women, which I was a part of at that time, became a part of at that time. This in Birmingham. And so as he got the award, I was really touched. I never seen my father cry. And I was like, we should write a book about this. And one thing he said that stuck with me, he said, I'm a seed of the foot soldiers' Bloody Sunday March. I've done my part as a politician for 30 plus years. And I hope that you all will do your part. What they did made it easy for me to get in office. But he had his trial during the redistricting that came about at the time in the 80s in Alabama, when still the marginal lines divided the equal opportunity for Blacks to get in office at the local, state, and government level. So he was a part of a class action lawsuit. So I share with you, in honor of my father and for Black History Month, the biography of Mose Jones Jr., Lawrence County Commissioner of District 1, a seed of the foot soldiers' Bloody Sunday March in the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Well, this book resides in Shepherd Library as of last year. Many of my books that I'll quickly tell you about, but we have a lot of historical things in this book that talk about the Alabama redistricting, the voting rights of 1965, all the people he met along his journey in 30 plus years, to include the Reverend Jesse Jackson that's in this book. And so if you want to learn about what happened in Alabama in the 80s that opened up the divided, that redistrict the marginal lines that gave many the right who were minorities to not only run for office, but get in office, he is one of many stories that goes with that. And so I thought I was done. It took a lot to write this book. I did an indie published book. So I self-authored this book because I had the know-how. And why share my profit with another company when I can publish it on Amazon, as well as many other platforms that I've published on. This book has sold internationally. All my books have sold internationally, of course, because I've traveled internationally. So out of that spawned several children's books, and I'll share my screen so that you can see those. But if you want to purchase the book, they're on Amazon. So it went from a coloring book to a latency age book to a teen Christian book series. All inspirations are either teachers that said, can you write something about character? My father said, if you're going to write a book about me, write one for the children because they're our future. Wow. And so that spawned A Not So Easy Road. And that was one book of many to come. And then he let me know, if you're going to write about character, it has to be Christian character, because that's who I am. And if you'll notice on his biography, it says political servant, man of God, loving father. And he is all three of those key words there. So this is the foundational book that I think I've written about 9 books total about my father, one adult book, and then the rest of them are children books and book series. So another book that's dear to my heart that inspired me was a book I wrote about in honor of my cousin and many other friends who died of breast cancer. It's Bob Cancer, The Fight is Real, Mental Awareness and Inspirational Activities. This is book 1 of a 4-part book series. I paused a little bit because I just recently took my job at Tuskegee, but I am going to publish the ovarian cancer book. It'll also be a prostate cancer book and a pancreatic cancer book. I have had people either suffer and pass from these health disparities or diseases, or those that have survived. So I wrote this book in inspiration because what I found was doctors do a good job at treating, but the point that was missing was the mental awareness. How does cancer affect the brain? What am I going through? How do I tell someone I'm really scared? They're moving me so fast. And so I saw that. And one thing my cousin said as she was in her last day, she touched me, said, you got to tell people about triple negative breast cancer. People need to know about this. And I thought, well, what could I do? I'm just April. She said, you're a doctor. You know people. You can help. And I said, I'll write a book. And she said, okay. Of course, I couldn't write it fast enough, but her mother and her daughter get to see this book in honor of her, along with my friend who was a military member who passed away She feels she may have contracted while serving on duty. And her name was Dr. Tamika Russell. And they have started a scholarship in honor of her. And I currently work with her husband today. So we honor those ladies who fought the good fight. And I also want to honor my co-worker, Mrs. Ingram, who is probably a 20-year survivor now, who was inspirational with this book. So all my books come from a work of art. They're inspirations. It's not something I thought I would do. It's something that someone inspired me to do or asked me to do. And to the point, so many people asked me to write about cancer. I told them I couldn't write about all parts of cancer. I just couldn't do it. And so while I have my one baby, I've written many books about my father and his life story. And one thing I liked when we went to ASU to their authors day with children at a summer camp about 2 years ago, a little chunky boy. And my father's catchment is Little Boy. So that's his nickname. And I literally wrote a book called Little Boy, because we know in our community, we have slang, right? And I wanted to keep it real. So I remember an editor saying, Dr. Jones is Little Boy, Little. And I said, no, ma'am, it's like Lil Kim is Little Boy, Lil hyphen boy. That was his name, Little Boy, with a red hat. And so my father spoke to those children. I realized what I was doing, even though I wasn't making much profit. It takes a lot to get Black illustrations in a book. And I invested a lot, but I thought this is better than buying clothes. The little boy walked up. He said, hey, little boy. He said, yeah. He said, when I grow up, I'm going to grow up and wear suits like you and have a career like you did in politics. And my mouth dropped open. My father said, that's right. He said, well, all right, then. He said, you snap a picture and send it to me when you get that job. He said, I will. That day I realized something I just thought was storytelling was more inspiring than I knew. Those children listened. Those were low-income children. And the little Black boy saw another Black guy who was successful. He was somebody. And it inspired him to say, hey, I want to grow up. I'm going to put a suit on and I'm going to go out and do some good and work in a job as well. And the bus pulled off and they all said, goodbye, little boy. You know, they were just so thrilled. They wanted to take pictures with him. And of course, the little children want to know, was that red hat, the little enchanted red hat book I shared about, was it really magical? So I said, oh, I've got to be careful. And so I had to let them know the magic died. But at that time, the hat was enchanted and he could do all these magical things. So my dream, Stillman College alumni and friends, is to sell enough books where I can get money. My father actually just wants to give these books away, especially to impoverished Black children. He has seen how Black children rarely get to see books that have skin pigmentation like them. So his dream is just to give them out to low-income communities and schools. We actually have a book that has a curriculum to use in the schools called Little Boy Steps to Goal Achievements. So teaching children how to succeed. So that came inspired from Dr. Coretta Ghostin, one of my good friends, who asked that I do something for children. And she honored my father and she grew up with him. So that's our dream. So the more books that get purchased, the more we can give out to different schools and do enrichment. But also I have scripts written about my father's story and cartoons that I have had scripts written about, but it does take money. And so I would love to bring an untold true story, Alabama story, to the screen. It doesn't have to make the big screen. It can go on Amazon, but I would like to bring that about. So as we all know, big things come out of Alabama. A lot of successful people came right out of the sticks of Alabama. The civil rights movement, which we celebrate during Black History Month, came out of Selma, out of Montgomery, out of Birmingham. So when I tell people when I go, so I said, don't think I'm from Alabama, I'm slow, because we're ready. We took a stand when everyone else wanted to move and run away. We stood.
Right.
Okay. So we celebrate Black History Month. If there's time, Pam, may I share my screen just to show a quick video? Is there time?
Can you come back, Dr. Jones, at the end? Yes,
Sure.
let's try to come back. And if not, like I told you, I welcome you to Books and Brews Authors Tour. We will definitely get with you. We would love to have you on that program where you can share all of your babies, all of your books. Books and Brews Authors Tour is one of my signature programs. Along with this one, it is on Facebook at Books and Brews Authors Tour. And I'm looking for 52 authors to share their books. So we're going to go to commercial and we'll be right back with Miss Lott. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Diversity and inclusion are core values that breed success. Organizations that develop environments which support and celebrate diverse views, diverse cultures, and diverse experiences generate better relationships that produce successful outcomes, such as increased business revenues and championship teams. The ability to feel respect and meaningfully show it to others is a product of diversity. When we respect and care about each other, in spite of our differences, we all win.
Hello, welcome back. What a gem we have right in Shepherd's Library with Dr. April Jones. I hope you had the opportunity to hear about her story, her love, the passion that she has for her father. If not, be sure to visit the Shepherd Library on the beautiful campus of Stillman College and take a look at her books. She'll be back on her page sharing information about purchase, about her books. So be sure to follow Dr. April Jones on her personal page. But now we have 2006 graduate, Miss Aria Lott. She's going to tell you about her book and about her journey into becoming an author. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you see me? Am I on?
You are there.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. Okay. Do I just go in? How do we do? Okay, guys. My name is Aria Lott. I am a 2006 graduate of Stillman College. I am elated to be here. Of course, a little bit nervous and excited. Dr. Jones, wow. I am uplifted by everything that I heard. My journey is one that is at the beginning stages, I guess would be considered. I'm a new author, not new to writing. Writing has been a cathartic, I think, journey for me. I am a person with a disability. I have epilepsy, so that has been what has brought me to the world of writing. The book I have is called Diversity, and if time allows, I will share that with you. Diversity is a children's book. It's one that I wrote for and with my dad. My dad has a 501c3 called the Soul of Santa Do Good Foundation, and he has witnessed my journey with epilepsy and seizures, and it never was something that was hard for me until I got to Stillman. My seizures have always been stress and sleep related. And it's one thing when you don't have too much stress as a young person, but when you get into your major, let me tell you, when you have tests and you're trying to study biology and things get hard, seizures tend to be like, hey, how you doing? And they don't let up. Stillman challenges you. Stillman helped me become who I am in so many ways. And so when seizures became a regular part of my life, I had a choice to step up or run. And Stillman was a part, including my professors. I wouldn't be who I am without them. I wouldn't have been able to make the book Diversity without who I encountered at Stillman College. And I think my dad knew that. So when we got together to create this book, Diversity, we were telling the story of what that became, because I was on my journey to become, not only did I study, biology, I was on my journey to become a doctor. And that didn't happen because epilepsy got in the way. And I didn't know how to transition. I didn't necessarily know how to deal as a person with a disability, because prior to Stillman, that had never been my story. It had never gotten in the way before. And just being honest, it kind of catapulted me into purpose. So I had to, when figuring out how to stand up to what was going to be my life, and instead of running away, I figured out, okay, if I'm not going to be a doctor, I tried and I tried and I tried. I entered and studied, chiropractic, and I met people that didn't know how to deal with people with disabilities. And when it didn't work, I decided I was going to be an advocate. I was going to speak up for people who were told what they couldn't do. And that became a part of my story. And in this book, I'm helping children understand you do not bow down to other people's opinions of who you are based on your differences. And that is what this book is about. It is kind of a compilation of my journey, and my dad's 501c3, the Soul of Santa Do Good Foundation, is based on that, helping children and community understand what differences are about. And not only did Stillman help teach me about that, it pushed me into becoming an educator and an advocate for the people in my community and the children and the families that I serve and am blessed to serve as an educator of children with special needs. That is what this book is about. Even to this day, I actually sing about that. I sing and write songs about healing and hope, and that is my love. So that is what I'm sharing with this first book in a series of books about diversity.
Awesome. Can you share your screen now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we want to see your book cover.
Absolutely. Okay. Let me figure that out.
Okay,
let me get that. Now I'm a teacher, so I should be good about the sharing of the screen.
I understand.
My screen? Can you see my screen now?
No, ma'am.
Oh, it says I'm sharing. Now that's rude. This is my life every day. Okay. It says I'm sharing. Can you?
There
now
you go.
can you see? Okay.
You can see it.
All right. So I'm going to go to this screen. Can you see now?
We can.
All right. So if you would like to purchase the book Diversity, you can go to thesoulofsanta.org, and it is for $7.50. You can share this book with your family. You can share it with yourself if you need some encouragement and a reminder that you have a place in this world, and there is nothing that you can't do, regardless of what someone tells you, because you have a difference. We all have something that we go through. We all have something that we've come through. And by the simple fact that we've gotten through it, we have somewhat of a duty to make sure that we extend a hand to pull the next person through, because not everybody has the strength to get through on their own.
Right.
And so we're kind of duty bound to make sure that we pay it forward, and make sure we let the next person know. Don't let somebody else define your story. You make sure that you make yourself accountable to yourself.
I agree. Thank you. Thank
Certainly.
you so much for sharing not only just your book, but your story.
Absolutely.
And the lightheartedness of seeing Santa.
Yeah.
Santa just left out of the Christmas holiday, the Christmas season, and to now see Santa in connection with your story is beautiful. So I definitely thank you for bringing more awareness to the sensitivity of students with diversity. I look forward to hearing more of your beautiful voice. I look forward to visiting the library and seeing your book inside of Shepherd Library. Thank you so much for just sharing your story, a part of your story with us, and the rich love that we both share in common with Stillman College. And
Thank
so,
you for having me. I can't wait to hear more. I
and,
can't wait to hear more.
we'll be hearing more from these authors later on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And so we're
Welcome to Homecoming 2021. This year's theme, Stillman's Gotta Have It. At home, the virtual experience. Greetings. My name is Samuel Mendenhall Jr., your 88th Student Government Association President here at the illustrious Stillman College. Although we couldn't be in person this year, I doubt that would stop us Tigers, past and current, from having a blast. So, grab your best Stillman outfit, find your favorite comfy place at home, or your hiding spot at work, because it's homecoming, y'all, at home.
And so we're back. And let me tell you guys something. I would not be able to do what we've been doing for the last 4 years for our authors if it were not for the love and support of the alumni office and Miss Jean Wilson Sykes. She communicates with me very efficiently and effectively throughout the year. She sends me all the communication that I need, and then she trusts me to run this program and then to make sure that it is run the Stillman excellent way. And so today you get to hear from her. And so now I'm going to pause and she's going to come and give you a spoken word.
Good morning, Stillmanites, and happy homecoming. And thank you, Pam, so much for bringing this segment to homecoming. We started it, I say we, it was actually you, about 4 years ago, and it's just been an excellent addition to all of our homecoming activities. We had a student who was supposed to share with you today, but she ended up having some issues. She's probably sitting in the dentist chair right now having root canal done. And I enjoyed her piece so much that she shared with us during the Miss Stillman pageant. I asked her to share it today, and of course she wasn't able to. So I'm going to present it on her behalf. Her name is Elena Jones. She is a graduating senior from Daytona Beach, Florida. She is a communications major. She is also a photographer. She is the Pre-Alumni Council president. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and just an all-around fun girl. And she does really well with her writing and with her poetry and spoken word. So I'm going to share her piece now with you. And it's called An Invocation to Mother Nature. Good evening, Miss Mother Nature. I'd like to start by sending an invocation in hope of your good graces, because I have a few requests to get off my chest. So please be patient. I know we don't talk too often because your schedule is pretty solid. And to you, my problems are microscopic. But I must say, in the grandest scheme of all my conflicts, being a Black woman has not been my easiest conquest. Now, Mother Nature, I promise I'm not complaining, because Trina taught me that even the baddest have bad days. But when I walk in a room and I'm hit with hatred from spectators, wondering why I smell like shea butter and not desperation, I get a little outraged because I find it all a bit outrageous. Let me put it this way. I stay cool in the heat. The only thing harder to fold than me are fitted sheets. I keep a smile. My hair is 6-man versatile. I can start a revolution just by talking on beat. I don't fear any being but God. You know, it's the confidence for me. And yet, I am a shadow, a crack in asphalt streets. And Mother Nature, I get tired of saying, it be like that sometimes. So I decided to hit your main line to express my position. See, I know we may never get the love or recognition, and our hearts are deeper than any quote on Pinterest. I know we're built different. We're made to withstand the most extreme conditions. I know we deserve every award, including honorable mention, because we code Swift better than Morse code had ever intended. And we'll go to war for our children. I know we move like every minute is a mission. I know we're God's most dangerous decision. But if I could ask you then, I know my work here is finished. When the sun sings praises our image, but the world just sees remnants, please protect Black women. When the police tries to dictate our strides and doctors assess our pain by our pigment, please protect Black women. When we cry in the dark because the world laughs at our tears, when we're raincoats in the storm but have to remain drenched in fear, and when we know we're speaking fluently but nobody has listened in years, I'm not too proud to beg out loud for the protection of Black women. Again, that was for student Elena Jones. And thank you, Pam, for allowing me to share. I hope you enjoyed it. And if anyone would like to see it in print, I'm sure she'll be happy to share it with you. Thank you. Happy homecoming.
Hey, Tiger friends and family. Of course, you know Stillman's got to have homecoming, and sadly, we've got to have it at home due to the pandemic. So we welcome you to Homecoming 2021. Stillman's got to have it at home. On behalf of Virtuous Elite, your continued contributions and support are welcome for this virtual homecoming experience. Do not forget to help us reach our homecoming goal by donating today. Go Tigers!
Welcome back. Thank you, Jean. And be sure to thank that young lady for that empowering poetry that she shared with us. It's so heartfelt, and I can attest to the words that she penned. And if she happens to catch a moment of this segment, continue writing, lady. Continue sharing your soul with the world. We just saw a beautiful young lady during the inauguration share her soul. And now she has let us know that poetry is not a dying art. So I encourage anyone to put pen or pencil to paper and share your story. It may be through book, it may be through poetry, or it may be through song. But share your story. What you feel is important. So again, welcome back. Our next author is Miss Jaquila Carlton, and now we're about to hear from her. Welcome, Jaquila.
Hey, Ms. Ryans.
Hey, lady.
You know, I had to come to the computer, so my lighting is not good right now. How are you today?
It is okay. Well, welcome aboard. I'm so glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Jaquila Carlton. I graduated in 2017. I'm 25. I'm currently in Birmingham in a property manager. I manage 42 units. And I joined really not an author, but, you know, I put myself out there this go around for you to do Pen It. So I shared my poetry with you and, you know.
Yes, and I appreciate it. Jaquila is one of the contributing authors to this book. It is Pen It. It is the events, actions, thoughts of 2020 halfway. So Jaquila, tell us about your contribution.
So really, it started off as an idea that I just wanted to throw out there, you know, had something, a feeling in my soul that I wanted to share with one of my mentors, my friends, Miss Ryans, and I know I wasn't capable to do it. And I know she'll make something go. So I just threw an idea out there, and she was like, yeah, that's something nice. So she made it happen. And as she was doing the project, I just, she was telling me her ideas. Well, you were telling me your ideas, and I was like, well, I can't, I really don't know, Ms. Ryans, but I think that'll be a good idea. And then as you was collecting everything to go inside the book, I was like, well, I have been writing a little. I've been writing, I do poetry, but I don't never share it. So I was like, this may be my time, like, to share this, share with the world what I can do. So I just decided to throw my little 2 segments in there, the June 10th and the other poem.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, Keela, it is always a good thing to jump aboard with someone that you know and trust. And I know we've been rolling together ever since you were a freshman at Stillman. And it is such an honor and such a pleasure to have you be in this platform, not only in the book, but to again share your story. Your story is a rich story. And I'm so excited for you. And then as a property manager, of units, making sure that someone has a roof over their head, that is exciting. And so I'm proud of you. I am so proud of you. So what was your inspiration for your contribution? And you are an author.
Well, it was just like towards the time we were all doing the Black Lives Movement, it meant something to me to get like how I felt out to the people, because I felt like a lot of people felt the same way I felt. So I just decided to just go ahead and write, because normally I just write it down, put it up, never speak on it again. But I felt like this time you was giving us the opportunity to talk about like what was going on in 2020. Like you gave us an open range. We didn't just have to talk about COVID. We didn't have to just talk about race or that. But I decided to talk about race and, the place I felt as a Black woman and the things that I saw in our Black community. So that's why I decided to write what I, wrote.
I love it. Everything that you feel, everything that is inside of you is valid and it is appropriate for some type of audience. I'm just so excited that you shared your soul about something dear and near to your heart in this collaboration. So give us a little bit more about your passion as a writer. Do you wish to continue writing?
Well, my passion, honestly, is about touching others. So if it has to do with writing, I'm gonna write. If it has to do with, like you say, managing and providing homes, I'm a provide homes. But on a journey, you don't really know what when you're on a spiritual journey, I should say, you don't ever know where you're gonna be guided to. So if it's meant for me to write, I'm gonna write. But if it's meant for me to stay back and just keep on giving you guys the thumbs up to continue to go, I'm gonna do that. So I don't really know where my place is as an author or as a poet. I'll continue to share as I feel. Like you said, your soul speaks to you. Whenever your soul speaks to you, that's when I'm gonna share. So as far as an author, I can't say yes, I can't say no, but if it's meant for me to do it, I'm gonna do it.
I love it. I love it. And it is meant for you to do it, even if it's for yourself. A lot of times writers just write as therapy for themselves. So my encouragement to you is to continue writing, continue being an advocate for what you believe in. Especially as a young writer, you see so many things. And that's why I call on you, because I know that I can't see everywhere. So I solicit young people to help me see, a different view, a different take than what I'm able to, capture in my age. As a writer, I just think it's always good to open the floor up for young writers to enter into the zone of being an author of what they feel, an author of their soul. And so thank you so much, Jaquila, for sharing your passion for helping others. That's what's needed.
Thank you, Ms. Ryans. I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. And so now we're going to ease into the final presentation. We're going to have a commercial, and then we'll be right back with you.
Yes.
Hey, Tiger friends and family. Of course you know, Stillman's gotta have homecoming, and sadly we have to have it at home due to the pandemic. So we welcome you to Homecoming 2021. Stillman's gotta have it at home. On behalf of the Eta Kappa chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, your continued contributions and support are welcome for this virtual homecoming experience. Do not forget to help us reach our homecoming goal by donating today. Go Tigers!
Hey, Tiger friends and family.
Of course, you know Stillman's got to have homecoming, and sadly, we got to have it at home due to the pandemic.
So we welcome you to Homecoming 2021. Stillman's got to have it at home.
On behalf of the Epsilon chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, your continued contributions and support are welcome for this virtual homecoming experience.
Do not forget to help us reach our homecoming goal by donating today.
Go Tigers! Yo!
Welcome back. We are having an amazing time sharing the talents of all of the alumni of Stillman College, not only in this author segment, but throughout the whole virtual homecoming experience. I think Stillman is doing an excellent job at continuing the tradition of excellence. And so we've heard from 3 of our new book dedicators that are going to be sharing their book with the Shepherd Library. And so as we near the ending of this program, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Pam Ryans. I am a 1999 graduate of Stillman College. I entered Stillman College as Pam Clark in 1984. After a detour in my career, I decided to come back and make Stillman College a part of my past by becoming a graduate. As I continued on, I went to the University of West Alabama to secure a degree in psychology, majoring in counseling, concentrating on counseling. And I'm so glad I did, because I'm able to relate to young minds as a writer and to help them to push and share the importance of their story. Now, in my career as an author, I'm also a publisher. So I'm able to take stories from all around the world and bring them to print so that you, the audience, can see what a magnificent gem that can be found on the pages of books, on billboards, on cups, on t-shirts. Those words are important. But not only that, I am the founder and CEO of the Daughters of Sarah Caregiving Organization. The Daughter of Sarah is a nonprofit organization, and our interest is making sure that we go to the doctor, that we keep a hand on what we have going on in our natural bodies by becoming our own doctor, by becoming aware of what we have going on. And then I'm an advocate for early detection. So it all for me began with Stillman College. Stillman took this young girl, welcomed her in from Sumter County, specifically York, Alabama, and made sure that I have a well-rounded education. From living on campus to the cafeteria, to social experiences, to welcoming me back in as a non-traditional student when I decided to take a break. It was Stillman College that made sure that I was able to have a place for my education to call home. And so I don't know if the audience is full of eager young people. and you're thinking about your next decision educationally, I suggest that you make Stillman College your home. Stillman College is home to some rich majors that have gone on to touch the lives of so many students. And so, like I said, we're heading to the ending of this segment, but it is because of Stillman that I am able to share not only my passion, and it's not so that the passion is about writing, the passion is about, like Jaquila said, preserving my soul, making sure that my daughters have a place in history. And that's why I go on and forge the path. Not just my biological daughters, but those daughters that I've acquired along the journey, like Miss Jaquila Carlton and others. So I hope that you have enjoyed this segment thus far. We're going to bring the ladies back on and just let them tell you a little bit more about their experience on the campus of Stillman College. Welcome back, ladies.
Hello.
So, Dr. Jones, tell us about one of your experiences, one of your memorable experiences on Stillman's rich campus.
Oh my goodness, it's so many back in the day in the 2000s. I think my most memorable was always being out at the square. I don't know if the square is still there now, but back in my day, the square is where your sororities and your fraternities usually congregated, and sometimes just those who needed a place to sit around and socialize when the fraternities and sororities weren't taking it over. But I think my most memorable was when I saw the alphas do a step, and I'll never forget, and I hope you don't mind me saying Do Rock and Dub Taylor. Nobody could shake like those guys could shake. And boy, I think, somebody must have shook, and they shook a piece of a hat or something off, and we laughed our butts off. But we formed a sense of community and family there, and we didn't get the food court till later on when I was getting ready to leave Stillman. So many things were shared there and in the area where the bookstore used to be. I don't know if it's still there now, and I forget the hall's name. But my most memorable moments always happen on the square and in my room with my roommates. And I must say, my cousin Estee and my roommate Sherry Crockett, at that time, she since has married, we had some knockout laughing times in Wynn Hall and the other dorms where we stayed. So just the sense of family and our own entertainment, Black style.
Right. So tell us about your most memorable moment, Aria.
I'm with Dr. Jones. There were so many. I think I'll start with, oh gosh, probably in Geneva Hall. I was probably one of the last people to stay in Geneva. It was my favorite place to stay. We weren't supposed to have things like hot combs and stuff. I almost burnt that hall down. And look, nobody needs to know these things, but I was trying to press my hair. And I might have forgot about the hot comb. I might have forgot about it, and I might have almost burnt the hall down. And they might still dog me out to this day. But Geneva, we called it GP, Geneva Projects. But we were a tight and still are a tight knit group. And I remember in there was also coming from kind of the Midwest. I didn't know that roaches flew. There was one time we were trying to clean the dorm, and all you heard was this. And anytime you heard that, you knew it was a roach. And we don't say this to dogs Stillman out. It was just, it's kind of like a term of endearment. You're going to encounter one at that point in the 2000s. And that thing got to flying, and I shed whole tears. Like cried like a baby because it wouldn't die. It would not. Everything I tried in my life to kill that thing, it just would not die. And I say it like, you're like, why is that your favorite memory? Just because there were certain things about Stillman it still didn't turn you away from it. There were just things that you just remember, and there were moments that were funny, that you laugh about, and they just endear you to Stillman. The gazebo, if Byron Ratti and Francisco Alvarez, we stayed in for hours at the gazebo once it went up, every day, about everything.
Thank you so much for
Family.
sharing.
Yeah.
All right, Jaquila, what's one of your most memorable moments besides the 12 minutes?
I was gonna say the 12 minutes video, Ms. Ryans, but really everything was memorable. Like from joining CSC to just being a part of just the Stillman community. Everything was fun. Everyone was loving everything. You can't say anything bad about Stillman if you didn't put yourself in a bad situation. If you were always, if you were like me, I got along with everyone. So everything was memorable. Everything was fun.
Yes. Let me tell you about one of my most memorable times at Stillman. And so I want to do a kind of like a tribute to my cousin, who still is, but she's in glory, an author. She was an author. And her name was Lisa Ben. We are from Sumter County, Alabama. Okay. Sumter County is extremely small in number, but it is so huge in love. And we were from rival towns. I'm from York. She was from Livingston. So we were rivals. And I was a young girl, and she was a majorette at Livingston Junior High School. And I wanted to be just like her. And even before she made it to Stillman College, she would meet me at the grocery store. I had a little summer job in Livingston, and she would meet me at the grocery store corner and teach me and help me learn how to twirl a baton. Needless to say, it didn't happen. I ended up on the dance line of the Sumter County High School Catarettes, Wildcats. But when I got to Stillman, and like you were saying, she did live in Geneva. And back in the day, you couldn't have company in Geneva, girl or boy. So she would sneak me in because, that was my cousin. And because of the love that cousins have, she would sneak me in and allow me to sleep in the twin bed with her. And so the next morning, Miss McCrary, if I'm not mistaken, she would say, Clark, you don't live in this dorm, but because of the love that Stillman staff had, it was okay. And so my most memorable moment, I want to attribute to my cousin Lisa Ben, who went on to glory, who was an author, who was a writer, who was a love of people. She graduated in 1988, I do believe. And so that's my most memorable moment, to just be able to share the collegiate experience with a family member, in which Stillman makes us all family. Yes.
You have a legacy of Stillmanites.
Yes, we do. And so, ladies, let me tell you, thank you so much for this discussion. And we do see the comments. Thank you to everybody that tuned in with us. We're only just beginning to share the legacy of Stillman. Next year will be our 5th year. And so we have great plans for the 5th year. We don't know what's ahead of us with the issues and, what's going on in our health with the COVID-19 and the variances that are now popping up. But if we can all have a moment to convene next year, even if it is virtually, I would love to see all of the authors who have contributed their babies to Stillman College bring us together and allow others to see what writers look like and inspire the young students, just like Dr. Jones told us about. Inspire young students to continue to write, to continue to tell their story. So now I want you to please, ladies, tell people how can they connect with you further.
If you want to connect with me, you can email me at bcsllc.co@gmail.com. That's my Visionary Consulting Service business email. You can buy the books on Amazon.com. You can just Google Dr. April Jones author. All my books will come up on my author's den or in Amazon. And you can give me a call at 334-603-2295. That's my Google Voice number. So those are the ways that you can connect with me. I'm also on Facebook as Visionary Consulting Services. And we also have the Little Boy Book Collections Facebook page for children. So if you Google me, you'll find all those methods of connecting. This week only, let me just give my PSA. The Kindle books are on sale, marked down anywhere from 99 cents up to $8.99, which is more than half off the price for the books, the ebooks. There's also an animated audio book for children, The Enchanted Red Hat, that your children would love. That's a nominal fee. It's under $4. So just for Happy Homecoming, Happy Black History Month, I have put that special out there to anyone in the world can access it for 1 week only, starting today on Amazon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Ms. Lott?
Hi. Okay. So if you would like to connect with me, you can go and follow me on Facebook or Instagram at The Aria Camille. And my business account is theariacamille@gmail.com. And to get the book, you can go to thesoulofsanta.org. And if you go to the store at thesoulofsanta.org, you will find Diversity. And it is now marked at $7.50. Go ahead and get you a copy. You will love it.
Awesome. Thank you. Ms. Carlton?
Well, you can connect with me on Facebook at Jaquila Carlton or LinkedIn, Jaquila Carlton. Or you can add my business page at The Key. So, or JaquilaMGMT@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, again, I am.
To get the book, go to Amazon.com and get Pennant.
Awesome.
Contact Miss Pam Ryans.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't have to say it. Well, this has been a magnificent experience. I love hearing from authors all around the world. And so to end this segment, I invite you to Pennant Part 2. It is a collaboration telling you all about the events, the actions, and the thoughts. It is a historical document because in the future, just like Vice President Harris said, they're going to want to know what really happened. And there are going to be some books that's going to tell a story. There are going to be some great stories, but all of our stories are important. And so Pennant Part 2, we are taking now submissions, and that is on the Books and Brews Authors Tour. It is on Facebook. You can connect with me there. You also can connect with me at Daughter of Sarah Caregiver Care. That's the Daughter of Sarah Caregiver Care here on Facebook. You're welcome to email me at pamryans.com. You are welcome to visit Stillman College, the alumni office, and make a contribution and a donation to the homecoming activities. Please be sure to get involved in all of the activities that are going on the campus, virtually. We all know that everyone needs assistance. And so we would be remiss if we didn't make a contribution ourselves. So we're asking all alumni to find the link, make a donation, and let's continue the legacies that have been formed here at Stillman College.
Absolutely.
This ends the author's dedication and book discussion. It is normally a book signing, but because of the events going on with our health and safety, we thought it best that we bring you this event virtually. And so that way, it'll always be around. You know, when you visit a place face to face, once you leave, all you have is the memory. But now I say, you know, as bad as COVID may be, as bad as things may be right now, there is always something good happening. And so now one of the takeaways is, because of technology, this particular event can be saved on your phone and can be memorable for years and years to come. Thank you, Stillman College. Thank you, Tyler Davison, for your wonderful production. Thank you, Miss Jean Sykes, for just being here with me, holding my hand every step of the way. Thank you, Dr. Warwick, for your wonderful leadership. Thank you, Stillman College, for giving our books a place to call home. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.